Welcome to the Global War Watch Network. Hey, if you appreciate getting clear, no-nonsense analysis on global security, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button right now. We are breaking down a really high-stakes story for you today.
So get this. 2 U.S. warships just sailed into one of the most dangerous maritime choke points on the entire planet. Their mission? To clear mines. But the real question, the one we're going to unpack, is why now? This is a far more complex and risky story than it looks on the surface. All right, let's set the scene. On April 11th, 2026, after a tense 6-week standoff, the U.S. Navy made a big move. They sent warships back into the Strait of Hormuz for the first time since this whole conflict kicked off. And let me tell you, this was no routine patrol. We're talking about 2 heavy hitters, the guided missile destroyers, USS Frank E. Peterson and the USS Michael Murphy. Now, according to U.S. Central Commands, their job is to start prepping the area so they can clear out Iranian sea mines. The end goal here is to carve out what they're calling a new safe passage for all the commercial ships stuck out there.
Okay, Alex, so that sounds incredibly risky. What makes this specific waterway so important that they'd take a chance like that?
And Ben, that is the perfect question, because the Strait of Hormuz isn't just some random body of water. For the global economy, it's basically a vital artery. And right now, that artery is being squeezed shut.
Just look at these numbers. Before this crisis, a full quarter of all the world's seaborne oil and 20% of all its liquefied natural gas passed through this one tiny choke point. We're talking a channel that's only 21 miles wide at its narrowest. So yeah, when this spot gets clogged, believe me, the entire world feels it. And it has been clogged solid. This whole thing didn't just pop up overnight. You can see how it escalated. It started back on February 28th when Iran shut the strait down. A few days later, they made it official, threatening any ship that tried to pass. Then, by March 10th, we got confirmation they were laying sea mines. That fragile ceasefire on April 7th, well, that just set the stage for this big U.S. move on the 11th. And you can see the results right here. I mean, that drop-off is just staggering. You go from around 130 ships passing through every single day to, what, fewer than 15? What does a collapse like that actually do to the economy? Well, it means total economic paralysis. It's a 94% drop in traffic. Think about it. Hundreds of massive tankers and cargo ships are just stuck. They're either trapped inside the Persian Gulf or anchored outside, too terrified to even try to make a run for it. This isn't just a regional headache. It's a full-blown global supply chain catastrophe. Right. And we need to be clear. This isn't some simple blockade where you can see the ships in your way. The threat here is something much, much scarier because it's invisible, it's silent, and it's absolutely lethal. We are talking about a modern, sophisticated naval minefield. And Iran isn't using ancient tech here. Their arsenal is pretty advanced. You've got things like the EM-52, which is supplied by China. It's a rocket-propelled mine that just sits on the seabed waiting and then launches itself at a passing ship. Then you've got your classic moored mines and these bottom influence mines that can be triggered by a ship's sound or even its magnetic field. These things are notoriously hard to find. But here's the craziest part, the real twist in all this. According to U.S. officials, Iran was so careless when they laid these mines that even they don't know where all of them are anymore. Some have probably just drifted off with the currents, which basically turns the entire strait into a giant, unmapped game of Russian roulette for everyone, including Iran's own ships. Wow, okay, so if even the people who laid the mines don't know where they are, how on earth does the U.S. Navy expect to clear a path? I mean, you'd think they'd have a whole fleet of special mine-sweeping ships for exactly this kind of thing, right? You would absolutely think so, Ben. And that's where this gamble gets even bigger. The timing on this is just unbelievable. Only 5 months before this crisis erupted, the U.S. Navy retired its entire fleet of dedicated minesweeper ships that were based right there in Bahrain. They went from having 4 specialized vessels on standby in the region to 0.
So wait, no minesweepers? What are they using then?
The answer is technology. Unmanned undersea vehicles, or UUVs. Basically, they're super advanced underwater drones, like this one called the Knifefish. The idea is that these drones go into the dangerous areas to find the mines, while the big destroyer ships hang back at a safe distance. But here's the catch. This tech is largely unproven in a real-world combat zone like this.
And, while all this high-tech military drama is playing out on the water, it's not happening in a vacuum. At the exact same time, there's this incredibly delicate diplomatic effort going on behind the scenes. It's a total high-wire act.
Think about this contrast. As those destroyers are inching their way towards a minefield, U.S. and Iranian diplomats are sitting at the same table in Islamabad. This is the first time they've had direct face-to-face negotiations since 1979. It's pretty clear the military pressure in the Strait is designed to give the American diplomats some serious leverage in those talks.
Man, with warships moving, drones in the water, and diplomats talking, the story must be getting incredibly complicated. I bet both sides are trying to spin it their own way. Oh, you have no idea. The official story has become its own battlefield. The US and Iran are telling two completely different tales about what's going on. Welcome to the information war. On one hand, you have U.S. Central Command putting out statements saying their destroyers successfully entered the Strait and started their mission. But then you look at Iranian state media, and they're claiming they threatened to attack the U.S. ship within 30 minutes and forced it to turn tail and run. Two totally separate realities being broadcast to the world.
So when you put all these pieces together, you can really see the U.S. strategy. It's a gamble on multiple levels. 1, they're using their military to force an end to this economic stalemate. 2, they're testing their brand new drone tech in the ultimate high-pressure situation. 3, they're trying to create leverage for those peace talks. And 4, they're doing all of this while navigating a threat that's invisible, drifting, and completely unpredictable. Which really leaves us with the billion-dollar question, doesn't it? Is this incredibly bold, high-tech gamble going to be the key that finally reopens this global artery? Or could just one tiny misstep, a drone glitch, a misunderstood word from a diplomat, or a chance encounter with one of those drifting minds, be the spark that ignites a much, much wider war?
We'll have to leave it there for now. Thank you so much for joining us for this breakdown of what we're calling the Hormuz gamble. We really hope this gave you some clarity on a very murky situation.
Absolutely. And if you found this analysis useful, please help us out. Go ahead and hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to see it, and of course, subscribe to the Global War Watch Network so you don't miss our next update.
We want to know what you think. Is this U.S. strategy brilliant or is it reckless? Let us know down in the comment section. And be sure to join the conversation with our community on social media. All the links for that are in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you for the next one.